Florida Amendment 3 is on the November 3rd, 2026 ballot. If you own property in New York and are considering a future Florida residence, it is worth understanding, not as a promise of savings, but as a proposal that could affect the property tax framework around a Florida primary home. I will explain what is on the ballot, what it says about homestead property, how it addresses new Florida residents and non-homestead property, and why a careful relocation plan still matters. This is general education only, not tax, legal, voting, or residency advice. The first thing, the measure is not law today. Florida constitutional amendments require 60% voter approval. If voters approve Amendment 3, the official summary says it would take effect January 1st, 2027. If voters do not approve it, these proposed changes do not take effect. The central concept is homestead, which generally concerns a property that qualifies as your primary residence. That is different from owning a vacation home, rental, or investment property. Your facts, the property's use, and applicable law matter. The official ballot summary says Amendment 3 would increase the homestead exemption for all non-school taxes to $150,000 in 2027 and $250,000 in 2028, with inflation adjustments thereafter. The important phrase is non-school taxes. The proposal does not describe a blanket elimination of every property tax charge. An exemption reduces taxable value for the applicable levies. It is not a dollar-for-dollar tax credit. The actual effect depends on eligibility, assessed value, local millage rates, and the rules that apply to a particular property. That is why a headline cannot replace individual advice.
For New York owners, the new resident language deserves special attention. Under the current official summary, people who were not Florida residents on December 31st, 2026 would receive the existing homestead exemption after qualifying for homestead. The increased exemption would begin with the 5th year of exemption, to the extent permitted by the United States Constitution. This is not an instruction to move by a particular date, and it is not a substitute for determining residency with qualified advisors. It means the ballot measure includes a phase-in concept for certain new Florida residents. A relocation decision should be based on your full financial, family, real estate, and professional picture, not one proposed amendment.
Amendment 3 also reaches beyond primary residences. The official summary says it would reduce the annual cap on assessment increases from 10% to 5%. Non-homestead property can include rentals, second homes, commercial property, and other property that does not qualify for homestead treatment. This cap concerns annual assessed value growth. It does not set market value, and it does not by itself tell you the final property tax bill. Owners of investment or commercial real estate should review the language with their tax and legal advisors before drawing conclusions.
There is also a broader local government provision. The official summary requires counties and municipalities to use property taxes for listed purposes, including public safety, schools, infrastructure, natural resources, bond debt service, employee retirement benefits, and operations. It also says other expenditures may be approved by county officers or county or municipal governing bodies unless prohibited by general law. That helps explain why the proposal has drawn both support and concern. Recent reporting noted that a court required the ballot title and summary to be rewritten. This video therefore relies on the current Florida Division of Elections summary, not older descriptions or campaign language.
So, what should a New York owner consider? Start with 5 questions. Would the Florida property truly be your primary residence, and when? Is it intended to be a homestead, second home, rental, or commercial investment? What ownership, financing, insurance, and local tax considerations apply to that property? How does a Florida move fit with your New York strategy, whether you keep,
sell, rent, or restructure your New York property? And which professionals should be coordinated before you decide? Your CPA, attorney, lender, insurance advisor, and real estate team each have a role. The goal is one coordinated plan, not a rushed reaction to a headline.
It is equally important to say what Amendment 3 does not decide for you. It does not guarantee a tax result. It does not automatically establish Florida residency. It does not determine whether a home qualifies for homestead treatment. And it does not replace the work of planning a cross-state move, including property strategy, financing, insurance, and professional advice. The ballot language includes conditions, phase-in rules, and matters that depend on implementation. For a New York owner, the right question is not simply, what might I save? It is, what is the right long-term plan for my household, properties, and objectives? At LRF Group, our role is to organize the real estate side of that decision across both markets. We can help you evaluate a New York property strategy, identify South Florida communities that fit your goals, coordinate a purchase or sale, and work alongside your CPA, attorney, lender, and other qualified advisors. We do not replace those advisors or offer tax or legal conclusions. We help make property decisions more informed, coordinated, and manageable. If Amendment 3 is part of your thinking, start with the facts, then build the right team around your situation. In the next video, I will show you how LRF Group guides a New York, South Florida relocation in practice, from the first conversation through property strategy, market selection, timing, and coordination. If you are considering a future relocation or a major real estate decision, arrange a confidential consultation with our team. This message is brought to you by the LRF Group, licensed in Florida and New York, with offices in Miami and Manhattan. Scan the QR code to subscribe to our free weekly market updates. At LRF Group, our services for your world.